Dogecoin, aka the sticks. But before we get to all that, do me a huge favor, tap the subscribe button and tap the like button so we can grow the Dogecoin community together, alright? You came for the Dogecoin sticks? Let's get to it. So as always, I like to start with the daily candlestick here. So you see yesterday, right here, on this stick right here, let me make it bigger so you can see it. This stick right here is what you want to call a long-standing doji right here, or a long-legged doji. So usually when you see this kind of stick right here, on a long trend, either up or down, it is usually an indicator of a possible reversal or a possible consolidation. So with the reversal, you want to see 3 or 4 candlesticks kind of confirm it and move up, kind of like this right here, right? So we want to see something like this in the next few days. If we see that, then it's confirmation that we're starting a new uptrend. However, if it's not, we're probably going to see something like this. We're kind of just going to do a little zigzagging, aka consolidation. As you could see from back when, let's see, from these 9 days right here, we did a similar thing, kind of consolidation here. So that was about 9 days from February 25th to about March 6th. So let me see something like that as well. It's hard to say right now because it's just starting out. But on a long term, it's still very bullish. On a short term, it's now starting to look like a possible a new range could emerge because it did go through the original 525 resistance or support initially. It was support, from March 7th to March 23rd, and then, 1 day ago it broke through it. But also at the same token, this long-standing doji stick here kind of went down and up. So basically, when you see this wick right here, that just means people bought a dip, right, and they push it back up real quick. And that's pretty much what I did. I bought on the 23rd and 24th, which is I guess 2 days ago. I bought a few dips right there. So that's kind of what happened there, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. So this green candlestick right here could be a reversal, or at least a beginning start of it. So as I mentioned before, you wait for at least 5 or 6 sticks to kind of confirm it, but it looks pretty promising as of right now. You can see it on a MACD as well. Oh, you can see also yesterday on that long-standing doji sticker, right? We had a typical volume about 104 million volume right there. So that's more of a typical range of volume right there. Usually for the past few days, it's on 80, 78, 67, 80, 82, 71. And then we saw a regular volume day. So this to me looks like people found a deal they liked, including myself, and they bought some, which is great. So we're also seeing the MACD now is starting to trend back up again, right? It's kind of doing this right here. But as always, you want to see a couple of sticks to kind of confirm it. And to note also that you can see also on right here, let's see, the blue line is starting to slow down from 0.003 to 0.001, and you can see the trajectory was doing this at first. Now it's doing this, so it's slowing down. So this tells me this kind of shows me that bulls are starting to begin to take control here. So bears were control for a few days, and you see the divergence. It's slowing down, right? It isn't getting as widespread anymore. So this tells me that okay, we're in control right now. Well, we're going to start to be in control. We're in the beginning stages of getting control, aka the bulls are here. But putting in the note also, you can see that we look like we could possibly reset in the bull zone. If that happens, we can see something like this, where it kind of tap it a little bit and kind of go back up like that. We may see something like this possibly. That happens. Of course, it's gonna take a while to happen, right? I mean, let me draw it real quick. That could be about what, like 10 days? Oh, or let's see, maybe 10 days or 12 days to see. So maybe in the next 2 weeks, we can kind of see where the next direction is. Are we going to start a bear trend? Are we going to start the bull trend, right? As of right now, the bulls are fighting for it. They aren't in control yet, but they sure are fighting though, okay? So you can see also for the past 12 days, it was pretty much bearish for the most part, based on this right here. But it was bearish on bullish territory. So again, this is kind of why I'm going to wait a few days to see it confirm. So next week we may see some more movement though, towards this direction as well. And the weekend is coming up, so it may break down further. Who knows? Because weekends are usually even lower volume because people want to live their lives and not be on buying stocks and stuff or cryptocurrencies. So that being said, I'll be keeping eye on it as well on the weekend, just to see if there are any kind of good deals. As always, now we're gonna move on to the 4-hour chart now. Okay, so this kind of so this kind of so this kind of emphasizes why I always mention to you, ladies and gentlemen, to you have to watch this video daily because it can change the next day. What I said yesterday could change tomorrow just based on the new sticks here. But we are starting to see some new trends here start here as well. And to note, I suspect today we will finish green unless we see something else happen. But again, it's popping up above the previous support, right? If that happens, that's going to be a bullish case here, and then the range will be 525 to about 583 again. So we may zigzag around there in the coming days and weeks, just because we're still accumulating for the most part. And that isn't a bad thing because the longer we accumulate, you can see the 200 MA is starting to move up, right? It was 0.00185, now it's 0.00187. So it looks like it's moving up about a 0.0025 speed there. So it'll take a while before it gets there. So long we consolidate, we'll also bring the 200 MA, the 200-day moving average up as well. So that's very important. We bring it up as well, okay? So that's why even though it's consolidating, it's kind of boring. So there are deals to be coming. But the longer we stay up here, the longer we kind of build a foundation of, okay, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're staying at 5 cents. We're not going anywhere. If we dip a little bit, we're going to buy real quick, and it's going to pop right back up. Plus, and in the next week or two, we can see Coinbase start the IPO, right? I think March 31st. Correct me if I'm wrong. I should probably look it up later to kind of double check. But as far as what I can remember, that's kind of what is supposed. Well, that is what's scheduled to kind of play out. And also to note, obviously the Dogecoin developers are also working on the road to the API, so that's going to help bridge the gap between the Dogecoin and communication with Coinbase in order to list it on their on the Coinbase exchange. So with that being said, let's go to the 4-hour chart now and see what that looks like. All right. So on the 4-hour chart, you can see it kind of hangs around that downward channel I kind of mentioned. It kind of popped in and out a couple of times, and obviously when you saw this large volume here of 43.94 million, this to me was like, okay, people are like, you know what, there's a buy signal, let's buy, right? And when that happened, it kind of just pushed up the volume for the most part, and this is what you want to call a buy signal or a confirmation. So that's pretty much what happened there, and you see the current trend start to change. However, on the 4-hour time frame, we're still resetting in the bearish territory here, and the weekend is coming, so it could be a slower movement up, right? So what could happen? Could potentially happen. Could be something like this, kind of go up and it'll probably reset again. One more time, sorry. It may go it may go something like this, kind of come back down, and do this right here. So that happens, then we may see a lower low and a higher low as well, but we won't know yet, until it happens, obviously. But since it's in bearish territory and it's time to reset up with these red sticks right here, I'm more inclined to believe that it's gonna make a higher low and pop back down. So I suspect around 5.3, around 5.4 to 5.3 will be our next high, and it'll kind of pop back down. So I suspect we would see something like this right here. We'll kind of go like this, or kind of hit 5.4 or 5.3, and then come back down and probably dip back on the 5.25 support and kind of do something like that for the most part. I can see that happening. How long it'll take? This could possibly happen over a weekend, right? Because about 2 days. And then Monday we could start off like this on the edge right here, and when Monday starts up, we could start going higher as well. But of course, this is just, based on what I'm seeing here, so I don't expect us to go too high. We may see the 5.3 or 5.4 today, but I suspect after that it's gonna probably dip back down. and possibly 525 maybe the support again. But we'll have to wait and see for the most part. But if this plays out the way it is, I'm kind of drawn on here, kind of like a speculative scenario here. Then yeah, I would say 525 would be the support, and we'll pop back up. So I'm gonna put another limited buy around there to see if it triggers. If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. You know, I like to buy on discount days, so I'm not too concerned for the most part. Alrighty then. So that's kind of what I see with the 4-hour trend happening. And also to note, also you're seeing the 50 MA and a 200 MA on the 4-hour chart. It's starting to trend down, right? The 200 MA is relatively flat. The 50 MA is still trending down. So in the coming days, we could see a bearish cross. If that happens, we're gonna see more downside in the coming days to come as well. And that kind of aligns with the current trend on a daily as well. Of course, things have changed, right? Because we see this buy signal here in terms of volume right here. So I guess by the way I can see. But currently, I still see it more bearish and bullish. I mean, but we are seeing the bulls starting to take control. But it could be a fake out, right? You never know. You gotta see more confirmation. You on a daily, we have to see a five to six sticks trend towards that direction to kind of believe it. So that happens. If that happens, we're gonna start a new bullish trend, and we're gonna pop back up, and we may even test 6-3 again. So these are the possible scenarios from the bullish perspective and the bearish perspective. I always like to get both sides, because even though I'm a long investor and I'm bullish, but you got to know where it's going as well, so you can know where to buy the dips, right? So that's kind of why I give both perspectives and the fundamentals, with the news and everything in my other videos to help educate everyone. So as always, I always mention to you guys, give it a subscribe and give it a like to share these videos with other people, okay? So we can get more educated. Now moving on to the 15-minute chart here. All right. You can see on a 15-minute chart here, right? We did a bullish cross here on a 50 over 200, right? But I believe it'll be temporary in nature. And you can see also that we have been on a MACD resetting a bunch of times on the bullish territory, and that explains why we're moving up consistently with higher lows and lower highs. But at the same token, I don't believe that the trend will last for very long, just because the 4-hour chart and the daily chart are kind of pushing against this kind of headwind here. So I mean, this could continue, but we'll have to wait and see though. All right, so we will see. And you can see right here, we got a pretty big sell of 2.3, and then another buy of 1.4. So this could be a possible bear cover. There's like, oh, you know what? I had enough. I'm gonna move on for a little bit. Like when I see these two sticks right here at 12.5 and 11.4, these to me look like a bears covering, right? To me, that's what it looks like. And we're still pushing up here, as you can see the trend here. So I suspect over the weekend, if this continues on the 15-minute chart, then yeah, we can see something like this. It has like 5.4, kind of hang around there. Maybe go a little higher. Who knows, right? But for this to happen for a long duration of time is also very unlikely as well, because these things trading cycles are here. So currently the 50 MA is becoming support here, and it has been for the past a day or so now. Let's see what the time frame is. About a day and some change, a day and 15 minutes apparently. So, so that being said, yeah, I definitely want some deals and sales as well. But also seeing this happen as well, we may not see these deals coming. So basically, that temporary of 497, when it happened, it got bought real quick, and that's pretty much it. So we may or may not see that again. I'm more inclined to believe that we may see it again, just given the current trend. But as always, we have to wait for confirmation to see what's going on. And this will conclude the video for today. And if you watch it this long, do me a huge favor and like and subscribe. Okay, it helps spread the word of Dogecoin, and most importantly, it grows the Dogecoin community. It's Hey John. I'll catch you on next one.